What is the crack, guys? Welcome on board the Pain Train for Pain Train Gaming. We are here with our next podcast, and we are talking about E3, which comes on live in just a few days. Am I right? Now,
Yes.
yeah, thank you. Finally. So today we have in with us right now, we have Michael. He's a guy from my work. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, I'm Michael from his work.
From my work. We don't work in the same store, we just work in the same company. And we've got the man, the legend, the myth, Jam Master J!
Hey, how's it going?
Go like, comment, subscribe to it, and all that bullshit to his channel. And Michael's, don't forget
What
Michael's.
about my channel?
Yeah, I was gonna say, right, relax. Anyway, so today what we're doing is basically we're just kind of sit here, we're gonna chill, and we're gonna chat about what we hope to see at E3. Hello, Blizzard Irish Gamings, welcome on board. So,
That's me.
what?
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Oh, I was wondering who that was. Okay, let me see. Where is the conference? There you are. We've got the conference list here. We're gonna have a little chat about it. And yeah, we're gonna have some good times. Good times. Okay, before we get this started, lads, what conference are you guys looking forward to the most in seeing? I'd say personally myself has to be Sony. Mainly for the likes of God of War and The Last of Us 2. But what about you two? I'd say Michael, tell me your thoughts first.
EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That's it.
Yeah, I want to see what they're going to do different, what they're going to include, what maybe surprises they've got up their sleeves for players. I'm a big Star Wars nut, so yeah, it's the game that will make or break that franchise.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what God of War has to bring, especially with a different kind of earthly realm. And I'd like to see Spider-Man as well. I'm very excited about that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people
You know,
actually
like,
are. Yeah, a lot of people are
Yeah.
basically looking forward to Spider-Man because the Homecoming is coming out now next month, really, and it's meant to be based off that Spider-Man, isn't it?
Well, like I think it's based as it's based off its own kind of world. Like it's not really based on the movies. It's his own design and everything, So
Yeah,
that's what's always best. Like
exactly. Like literally, if they just go back to Spider-Man 2, they've got it in the bag, more or less, really. Because that was an iconic game in its own time. But yeah, no. So like a lot of people like are looking forward to various different games. Like I would definitely agree 100% with Battlefront 2 because I liked Battlefront 1, but I felt there was a lot missing from that game, and it looks like they're going to be improving it dramatically in Battlefront 2. God of War. I have loved this series from when it first came out in terms of God of War 1, 2, and 3, and of course Ascension as well. So I'm so looking forward to it being in the Norse mythology, seeing the likes of Thor, and of course I'd say we're definitely going to start Ragnarok in this sort of stuff and all as well, and then we're going to have to fix it and all. But I just kind of wonder how the kid is going to implement into the game, and like how apparently you're going to have to like not like there's a rage meter in it. I don't know if any of you have seen the game clip. Have you?
yeah, I've seen
I
a
saw
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, so you know that like when he's teaching his son how to do stuff, when his son fails, you can see down the bottom right corner there's like a rage meter that starts to fill up, and he tries to calm himself down. So he obviously knows that his rage kind of gets out of control, and he does stupid shit like killing all the Greek gods and basically bringing out the apocalypse, more or less.
Oh yeah, God of War parenting simulator.
I'm just happy to see his beard. A beard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, he's in the Norse realm. He has to have a beard now.
So he'd probably fight with Thor or something then. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
They don't
fight
take it
Thor.
for-
He's gonna fight
Yeah.
like everyone pretty much. Probably even Loki. But like
Yeah.
I just wonder at some stage now, since the kid's gonna be implemented into this, I find that you're gonna be able to control the kid at some point. And I'd say Kratos is gonna be like missing or knocked out or captured, and you're gonna have to obviously be the kid and do what Kratos has taught you and try and basically free him.
Drag your father's body across the land.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go down, right? So basically, the first conference is EA, and that starts at 8 o'clock our time. We're in Ireland, by the way, people. 8 o'clock our time on Saturday night. And also, don't forget, guys, we are going to be live streaming each conference with my reactions, except for Bethesda, because that's on at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not staying up that late. I'm not that committed. But anyway, yes, Electronic Arts. Okay, so what are the games that we have for EA? Obviously Battlefront 2, but is there any other ones?
Is there anyone?
It's just like, no, everyone just wanted Battlefront.
Age. There is the new Dragon Age. They have announced a new Dragon Age, but
there
they
is.
haven't given any details on it.
Very true, very true.
And
maybe
they've got the new Need for Speed as well to appeal to the obviously the car racing kind of.
Oh yeah.
And I think they really need to show off the customization in that game. If they don't have a fully featured customized racer, it's no good. We won't do anything.
Exactly, because everyone wants to go back to the Underground times, Underground 2, and that was like, I think that had the most customization out of every Need for Speed game.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like, it was just the amount of stuff that you were able to do with the car and the shocks, the engine even. It was brilliant.
What about you, Jay? Is there anything like EA?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is really Battlefront 2. Because I know the first one had really mixed reactions, People loved this, people didn't really like it. And I think what they're doing with Battlefront 2 is just correcting those mistakes. Maybe giving a storyline from the beginning, I think that's what really missed in the Battlefront 1. People are complaining about how there's no story, especially in a game like Star Wars, it's all story-centric,
Exactly. I mean, looking at the games that they have confirmed so far. Okay, yes, we have Need for Speed Payback, which should be good depending on the customization, as you said. There is Star Wars Battlefront 2, as we've already talked about. There's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, what is that? Have you played that?
That's their mobile game, as far as I remember.
Right. So we're not really looking into that at all, to be honest. Sims 4 for some reason. I don't see why. Maybe more DLC, is it?
And more than likely, it's probably Sims 4 Home Improvement Edition.
And of course, we have the FIFA 18, the Madden NFL 18, and the NBA 18.
Yeah, they have the sports on lockdown, so it's not surprising that they have like the FIFAs and the Maddens like every year. They're really just typical,
It'll be an information dump on FIFA. Everyone's wondering if the Ultimate Team is going to be on the Switch, if the Ultimate Team is going to be on the 360 and PS3. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be an information dump. They already know that the Journey is not going to be on any of those consoles, so it's what will be on the Switch that a lot of people are waiting to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as well, in terms of FIFA 18, people actually took the story mode from the 17 actually very well. So is there going to be another story mode in this one, do we think? Are we going to be playing as Ronaldo? Because apparently he's the cover art player this time.
No, as far as I have heard, it's the next step in, I can't remember his name now. It's his next step. So he finished up, obviously, the first season, spoilers, at a nice club. And it'll be his next step, possibly into international duty, I would imagine, or Champions League or something like that. Which would be weird, especially because, obviously, PES has Champions League lockdown.
Yeah, true. As well, actually, what was it? Was trying to say? There are various different things again with coming out with FIFA. Of course, you have the likes of there's multiple editions, and as well, did anyone see the video actually that was going around of the guy who got Ronaldo from one of his Ultimate Packs and he ended up smashing his TV?
Yeah, I've seen that. Pretty funny.
I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, that's the only reason Ronaldo's on the front is because of that guy.
He's arguably the biggest footballer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right now, so You know, especially with them just winning the Champions League. You know,
Hmm.
Real Madrid. Like,
Well, that's pretty much all EA. It looks like EA has to kind of really show off. And actually, let me do a side note here. No, it's a side note here. Nintendo is meant to be the last conference, and apparently their conference is only meant to be 30 minutes long.
But it's Nintendo. Nintendo don't give any credence to anything. It's like,
yeah,
here you go. This is your stuff. We're away. We're done with you now. Good luck.
Yeah, but like literally 30 minutes long. The Switch is probably their most successful console in years, and people are still like trying to trip over to get it, and yet they're only going to give a 30-minute window to talk about more about it, about games coming out and stuff they have planned in the future and all.
But I think all their future plans are very much not this year. At this point, they are seriously struggling just to even make the console for people, let alone be talking to people about putting games on it.
Yeah.
And they need to do that. They need to be talking to like Ubisoft and EA and going, hey, get your games on. Don't care what they're like. Get the games on them.
Yeah. Very
I
true.
still say the best game that can be released on a bloody Switch is Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. Everyone could bring it with them.
I mean, I like Nintendo Switch is such a isolated console, you know, whereas Xbox, like PS4 and even PCs have they all share games, you know, whereas Nintendo's very isolated, very Mario centered, very Zelda centered, very their own games, you know.
Yeah, and like actually,
it's really exclusive, but at the same time, it kind of hurts them because they only have those kind of titles, whereas you know PS4 has these exclusive titles like Horizon Zero Dawn and everything.
Yeah,
and Xbox has their own, like they're fun, you know.
But like actually, Kenobi Gaming has made a very good point here. They actually like to only show off their games during their own hosted directs on YouTube.
Yeah. That's true.
Which is very, very true. Actually, there's a lot of times where they'll just have their own little live streams to show off their own games and stuff. And in EA, they'll give the very brief, very broad description of what they plan to do in the future, and then say nothing about it until the time it's meant to come out, basically. Okay, so let's go on to the next conference after EA is Microsoft. So Microsoft, obviously, we know the big one right now is the Scorpio talks. Hey, Dark Gamer. So Scorpio is the main one right now in the talks in terms of the hardware. In terms of the software, however, we've got the likes of obviously Forza Motorsport 7, Crackdown 3. Apparently, Microsoft, I've been told this by one of their reps, Microsoft is meant to reveal its VR plans. So they're going to have apparently VR stuff coming out. Whether it's going to be for the Xbox One or Windows 10, we've yet to see. And then, of course, we're going to have to see if they've got any new IPs in the works. Unfortunately, we do know that Scalebound was cancelled, but I've read rumors that they're going to be rebooting it, but I'm not sure exactly how far that's going to go. And of course, the most anticipated one that I'm looking forward to is Sea of Thieves, because I think that's going to be great crack. What do you think, Michael?
They need the first party titles. It's the killer and it's going to be the one that gets them the kudos and everything else at E3 this year. If they can bring out a good beefed up console and give exclusives to the Xbox One, the One S, and the Scorpio, then they would literally destroy PlayStation. PlayStation had a fantastic year last year and this year with Horizon and all the other games that they had. Xbox did nothing with games, and that's where they fell apart after E3 last year. Everyone was pumped for Scalebound. Everyone wanted Scalebound. Everyone was looking at the trailer, was fantastic. The demo was amazing. Everyone was ready for it. Everyone was like, this is the game which will relaunch Xbox. And then it all fell apart.
And actually, now that you mentioned that, there was a small actual window last year where Xbox was actually doing very well and it was selling a good amount of consoles. It did actually, I think it had 1 month where it was actually a bit ahead of than the PlayStation. And I think that was the month when they were announcing the likes of Scalebound and all. And then after that, it kind of just went downhill because they weren't talking about it anymore.
everyone was very trepidatious about like Horizon Zero Dawn because it was a very broad vista that they kind of gave at E3 last year, and the more that Scalebound wasn't shown, the more Horizon was shown and took over from where Scalebound was losing ground.
What do you think, Jay? Is there anything in Microsoft that kind of catches your eye at all?
I think they're definitely going to introduce like a VR type thing.
Yeah.
Because like look how successful PS4 VR was is like, and look how many games are coming out. Like the Resident Evil game on VR is probably one of the most funnest, most frightening games that have ever been out. Like and Microsoft wants to come out something like that as well. So I think definitely something with VR, like, because right now it's just I think it's the thing now to have VR games and just the whole experience right now.
But do you think it's virtual reality, or do you think it might be augmented reality?
I don't know. Like, I mean, it might be virtual. I don't know. Like something anyway. Like
augmented, I think it'd be a bit too. It just kind of depends on their technology, really. I mean, they held off, so they could obviously get all three headsets: the Oculus, the Vive, and the PlayStation VR. I guarantee you, they have them like in the basement in Microsoft's HQ, and they're basically like dissecting each one of them more or less to see which ones have the best hand coordination, which one has the best head coordination, which one has the best like room coordination, and they're going to basically combine that into one. That is depending on what Microsoft actually have planned. And if they bring out a wireless VR headset, they've taken over the VR straight away. Like,
yeah, because there was that there was a couple of rumors floating around that Oculus and HTC had developed and were developing wireless headsets without need for mobile phones, and they had a test bed already going, and that was like 6 months ago, so it could happen.
Exactly, and as well, the only bad thing now right now is about if it is going down the road of wireless, they need to definitely not have as much shit on the headset in terms of having the way. If I don't know if any of these have actually opened a PlayStation VR head box. I know, Jay, you've seen the one I have. They've got so many wires connected to a separate like power unit, and then it plugs into the PlayStation. So like if it is meant to be wireless, they need to really cut back down on that, or else if they're going to probably have it on the actual headset, which is going to make it a bit more heavier on your head, and it's going to like no one will probably really enjoy it that much then if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean there's like VR has so many wires in it, but it is like necessary to have those to make it function, But even if they have like a wireless headset, VR, so that'd be really cool. Really change the game if they do something like that.
See, so any other games that you guys are looking forward to in terms of Microsoft? Any insight on Crackdown 3? Actually, Michael,
it's actually been very quiet, hasn't it, on Crackdown? Like it's one of the big titles on the original Xbox, and then on Xbox 360, and then it's disappeared for so long, and now it was announced 2 E3s ago, as far as I remember. And it was only that little short trailer of the whole place collapsing and everything else. And they had talked about it being using the power of the internet to basically someone in Japan can see the exact same building falling down as the guy in Dublin.
Yeah.
So I think they've had to overhaul that because of the plans with obviously the Xbox One S and stuff like that, and the not need to be connected all the time. But then again, it's Crackdown. Everyone loves Crackdown. It's one of those things that it's not like your Gears of War, which has kind of sullied the taste of like that genre, especially with even Halo 5 and Halo 4 and all that sort of thing. It's kind of sullied it all. Crackdown is Crackdown. People have been waiting for it for a very long time. People want it.
Very true. Very true. Actually, side note, guys, Kenobi Gaming has just informed me that the Star Wars show just announced that there will be a new trailer for Battlefront 2 on Saturday, and then a full 20 versus 20 battle at E3 plays in the new map Theed, capital of Naboo.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's yeah. They did something like that for the first one, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they had.
I think
they had it on Hoth.
Yeah, that was it. The Battle of Hoth. They had like 10v10 or something like that on the actual stage.
Yeah, I can't wait for the gameplay. So.
Yeah, but like
Hopefully it'll be more
when
vivid.
you think about it, 20v20, what was the original Battlefront 2 on PlayStation 2? That was at least 32 or 64 players, wasn't it?
Oh, jeez, I can't even
Yeah, I
remember.
don't know.
Yeah, you're going back that too far there. Anyway, but no, I'm still hoping it's going to be good. Plus, apparently, the way I've this is complete rumors, by the way. Since the original Battlefront had a VR experience in the Tie Fighter up in space, if they plan on doing dogfights, apparently someone said that they are thinking about doing VR dogfights.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
It makes
there
sense, yeah.
just Space Wars, right? In Battlefront.
Well, there's meant to be.
Yeah,
They haven't confirmed if they're going to do it or not.
yeah, that's what the big thing is that people are griping as well about Battlefront 1 is there wasn't Space Wars, and you're playing a Star Wars game, like,
Mm. Well, that was
Yeah.
it. Like
on
in
that Millennium Falcon.
you know.
in the
It's
second
very
in the second one and the first one, that was the big thing where you were in space and you were able to fly as the TIE fighters and all. And what was it? The Battlefront 2 had two massive ships on either side of each other, and you were able to infiltrate the enemy ships and try
Yeah.
and destroy their ship from the inside or the outside. And that's what people loved about Battlefront 2. And that's why I do hope they bring that back for Battlefront 2, but kind of and expand on it a bit better. Like even it could be the thing where maybe there could be a part where like everyone's on the Death Star, and maybe they have to run to each different like cannon or machine gun or something like that to try and prevent everyone from skimming down the trench to get to the little hole at the end where you can put blasters in and destroy the entire thing.
Yeah, something like that would be cool, like, you know.
But I'm probably asking for too much here.
Take some of those classic
Yeah.
maps and redo them, yeah.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's been doing it for years. Why not freaking Battlefront?
But like they apparently, I don't know if this was ever released or whatnot, because I haven't played Battlefront as much as I would have hoped. But is there a mode in Battlefront where everyone was playing as rebels and one person played as Vader?
Don't know.
Yeah. Because like that was one of the modes that was meant to be like Vader. One person played as Vader. It was like the Friday the 13th thing. One person played as Vader. He was OP. He had so much health, and he was meant to go around just pretty much slaughter like all the rebels. And everyone was obviously the rebels, and they were trying to shoot him and all.
Oh
I don't
yes, I remember. I remember
Yeah.
them talking
Yeah.
about that. The evolve, as I call it, the evolve mode.
Yeah, the evolve mode. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's only just the pickups, like. that
but
you get. Well, I'm not sure, like,
yeah.
anybody plays it, like, wouldn't know.
Exactly. So like if they had specialized missions like that where the enemy team had various different types of machine guns going down along the trench of the Death Star, it would be very iconic for the one team to try and navigate the trench and get to the end, and the other team to actually try and blow them out and save the Death Star, because that's what Battlefront 2's story is all about. The Death Star gets blown up, and you're apparently the fighters that were on the forest, and they see the Death Star blow up, and then they want revenge. They want to go after the rebels and kill them. So this is their story, more or less.
Yeah, it's
So-
a very interesting, compelling
Yeah.
story of
Mm.
like these are people who like were fighting for the Empire, who we'll see how it turns out, but for want of a better word, turn into good guys at some stage.
Exactly, yeah, and like, let's see. Oh, actually, another thing from Kenobi Gaming here. Just heard from a decent, credible source that Sony will announce a new open world IP at E3. Jesus, Kenobi Gaming, where are you getting all this stuff from?
Can you get your contact details, please?
Yeah. He's secretly
Your
working
email
for
address and your telephone number.
He's working for E3, yeah.
He's working for E3. Guys,
Yeah,
here's all the
just
secrets.
pumping them out.
Yeah, he's actually
To get the
standing
hype up.
outside the convention center taking all pictures of like
Yeah.
the posters and everything else, going yes.
But anyway, we're getting too far from Microsoft. Anyway, let's go back and focus on the main thing: the Scorpio.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Oh.
the Scorpio,
Say it again.
or the Scorpio, or should we call it maybe Xbox One 2.5 or
Just
something like that?
Keep the flipping name Scorpio. Just keep it. Everyone knows it as the Scorpio. Everyone cares about it as the Scorpio.
What's his first name? Hank Scorpio.
Oh, you know what? If they actually had that on the bottom of the actual case, I would be happy.
So like it's just basic. It's meant to be like they've classified it as a general gaming PC, not like a high end gaming PC, but a general gaming PC, which is meant to have like I've seen a lot of the specs, and the specs do look very good for it. But I feel though like is it going to be are they only going to be limited from what they can do? Is it basically literally going to be Xbox One 2.5, or do you think they're actually going to have some things up their sleeve to expand on it a bit?
They're going to have something up their sleeve. From what they've shown off of Forza Motorsport alone, like that graphics fidelity at 60 frames per second running in true 4K, like, wow. Like, this thing is a beast. It is a proper beast. It is the only console out there which every single one that ships is completely different than the next one because it is designed to be different. It's designed to adapt to its environment and to adapt to its cooling needs, and it literally overclocks itself.
Right. So
Yeah, I don't really much about it. So it's basically a juiced up Xbox, is it? Pretty much. Like,
Think of
everything's
the
there.
most expensive part you can put in an Xbox, and then that's it. But with what they are classing, like, it's basically an artificial AI
Yeah.
that is kind of going into this thing. This thing is literally, and when you turn it on, it is registering how much heat it's producing, how much it's going to turn on its fans to cool itself down to the best possible conditions to run the games at the highest rates. Like it is constantly changing itself. I'm worried because of that, but I'm also really excited.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty good. Actually, I'm excited about that, like, because PS4 is doing really well, like, on the console wars.
yeah, like basically Microsoft need an edge in the hole, and if if Scorpio turns out to be its edge in the hole, like all well for it, to be honest.
Yeah, this thing. I said it before. I'll say it again. It needs to not be a box, and it needs to pulse this amazing, beautiful green fell kind of light coming from it. It's saying, "Yes, I am power. I am death. You will enjoy playing me, even if you are playing some sort of pink bouncy game."
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That's a good selling point.
Play your pink bouncy games, but know that I shall murder you while doing it.
Well, on a side note, we have Colin in the chat room.
We do.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Colin. Better late than ever.
Apologize. I was having my dinner.
So was he while he was talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've gone through EA and we've gone through Microsoft. Do you want to give a quick overview of what you're looking forward to?
I'd say EA. With EA, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is maybe getting a view of Amy Hennig's Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Like that's got it's been in development for 2 years and they haven't shown it off once. It's got to come like this year, especially since there's like paying people in the crowd this year as well. Like there's got to be something big in every conference.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and I think that's probably the biggest thing EA can bring to the table because that's the game everyone's excited for since EA have got the Star Wars license.
So that in Star Wars falls, but like, you think Scorpio would be the biggest thing? No.
I'd say with Microsoft, I think their conference is their press is definitely going to focus on the Scorpio. Like you'll get the date, you'll get the reveal of the actual console itself. And but I will take note of like say it shouldn't be a box. But Microsoft haven't got the best design people, so I'm not actually looking forward to them showing what the console looks like. If it's a good looking console, I will hold my hands up and go, yeah, they've nailed it. But I think they need to also announce a more reasonable price than the one that they've already announced. So it's kind of
actually, what was the price?
It's looking to be in America. It's going to be around $800.
Jesus.
So here it's going to upwards of £600.
Well, it kind of depends really. If it is meant to be a juiced up Xbox One, which is basically a generic gaming PC. I mean, what you're talking like a cheapest gaming PC right now. You're talking maybe a decent one would be about what, over £1,000.
Oh, you're talking at least 1,500-1,600 for a good one. Should the graphics card alone, a Titan 180 is now €490.
Yeah.
So that's just a graphics card.
And I think that if that is going to be the case in terms of the price and all, I feel that Xbox One is only really going to go towards like proper like gamers, more or less.
Yeah.
This is your big boy toy. It's not for kids.
No, definitely
not. Everything that they are marketing this as is not for children. This is adults. This is your 30, 29, 30 into early 40-year-old gamer area.
You definitely need to like market it better than they did when they announced the Xbox One.
Did they market it?
It's like, no, you're not allowed to trade games.
Yeah, like the whole it's all in one entertainment system. They cannot do that with whatever they call the Scorpio, because I do believe we'll actually get the official name for it this week.
Just name it Scorpio.
It's like the PlayStation Pro. It sounded better when they called it PlayStation Neo. They changed it to Pro.
Yeah,
Xbox
really
Scorpio does sound better. It's gonna get a brand new name.
Like they literally could have called the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PS4K, and everyone would have been ecstatic.
Yeah,
PS4.
It was there on a plate for them to do it.
Yeah, it really was.
Why? It was like someone went there and went, "No, that's too obvious. We need something like what Microsoft is doing, and do like an Xbox One. Let's do Pro."
Brilliant.
Well, no.
Brilliant, Fred. You're getting a raise this month.
Fred got a big bonus in his pay packet when he came up with Pro.
Yeah. How about Pro?
Okay, before we go any further, I kind of want to say, Kenobi Gaming, thanks for your info, but please don't give us any more. I actually kind of want to be surprised. Is a latest breaking rumor that God of War 4 could be delayed till next year, but if it's not, it's going to release around the holidays. And that's just put me in a bad mood now, because I like that game. So please no more infos.
It would actually make sense for them to delay it, because if the spring of next year is actually becoming a very big time for gaming. Like even last year, the year before, February, March, and April, there were some massive games came out that, like Horizon came out in March.
Yeah, actually that's very true.
I would say I think it's because developers are afraid to go up against the likes of FIFA and Call of Duty. Like those two games have sort of ruled the fall window for a long time.
See, I'll admit that. Yeah, that's the thing. For this year, I'll agree with that, because Call of Duty's going back to World War II, and that's what everyone's kind of looking at. FIFA 18 again, I'll agree on as well. But like, what is it? Like FIFA has what, September?
September 29th.
And Call of Duty has September as well. So
Call of Duty November.
Oh, November. Yeah. September, whatever. So like they could have they've like what, August, they've December. Okay, not a lot of games are going to be released in December because everyone's going home for the Christmas. But I wouldn't be afraid. Like if I was a developer, I wouldn't be afraid to release it in terms of the Call of Duty and the FIFAs. Like maybe not the same week as them, but you could definitely do it in the same month. And especially if you have a good fan backing, people will buy this, because let's say if Call of Duty comes out and is shit, everyone will look towards your game and say, okay, what's this now? You know, oh, let's just pick one there. Oh, Battlefront 2, maybe I'll get that. Oh my God, this is amazing. You know.
Well, like Call of Duty can be shit, and it's still probably the best-selling game of the year.
Oh yeah, they'll say that. They'll say it every year. Oh, it's like breaking records.
It's probably the biggest franchise in gaming right now.
Last year, it did so well at launch that people were like, "Oh my God, this is the game changer of first-person shooters!" And then, literally 48 hours later, everyone was like, "Meh."
Yeah. But I'm actually really excited to see some gameplay of that.
Well, me too. I'm glad it's going back to World War II.
Because after how many games or how many fans said they want to go back, and how like Battlefield 1 did, they finally went back, like, maybe not like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but at least it's back to like where hopefully there's no jetpacks.
Like the thing that's annoyed me with it is like people are saying they've done it because it's their answer to Battlefield 1 last year. But this game's been in development for 3 years because every Call of Duty game's on a 3-year cycle.
Yeah, it's why Sledgehammer games.
So yeah, this one like Activision have got 3 developers making Call of Duty games, and they make one. Like each developer releases one on a different year. So it's a 3-year cycle. Was Battlefield like sort of a 2-year cycle? Was that in development at the same time?
I think actually Battlefield did kind of hold off for a bit longer. Now Hardline I think was literally a year after Battlefield 4, and that failed miserably. I think 3.
It's so
3
much
and
promise
4.
though. It was a shame.
Yeah, it really was. I was actually looking forward to it.
It was very hard to top Battlefield 4 though.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean,
very hard.
But just the way they did it, cops and robbers, and
it's kind of exactly just like a game.
Yeah,
cops and robbers kind of game.
I think with Hardline, if they didn't like focus on the online play, it could have been a great game.
Yeah, if there was some sort of a, but anyway, going back to what we were saying, actually. Before we leave, Battlefield 1, yes, it was a great game and all, but I don't think World War 1 is possibly the best era to do a game. Like, it was good for a while, but then you kind of ran out of content very fast because there's not really a lot of guns left now. There's not a lot of maps. Everything's kind of repetitive. It just kind of gets boring after a while. Not a lot of content in it.
It's very like ballsy to go back to World War 1 instead of World War 2.
It really was, and they did it very well.
The guns were prototype as well, so it's either they had to make guns up or just stick what they had in World War 1, where the guns were like half working and not legitimate. Like, so they had a gamble, but I mean, I find it still fun. It's just very, sometimes a bit repetitive and just a bit boring. Like sometimes with the maps and all. It's still a fun game for a first-person shooter.
Well, anyway, we're getting sidetracked here a bit. Right, next conference really is Bethesda. So, what does anyone think Bethesda is really going to announce? I don't think they've really said anything, have they?
All Quake.
Right, sorry. Actually, yes. I've completely forgot they had that license. Yes, it will all be Quake.
I think it's going to be the sci-fi RPG.
You think so?
Yes, I do. What's it called? Stargaze?
Stargaze.
I haven't heard about this.
Hang on a second now. Stargaze.
Everyone quickly Googles.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I don't think it's Stargaze.
I don't think that. Try and find the name, but I think that's what they're bringing, because you're not going to get an Elder Scrolls or a Starfield. Sorry.
Yeah, Starfield. Actually, just seen it there now as well.
Yeah.
That's their new IP, isn't it?
That's their brand new IP that they've had in development for a while. So I think it's high time they showed that off.
And what exactly is it? I've actually not seen anything on it.
Nobody has. It's the typical Bethesda release. Like they work on it and work on it and work on it.
Yeah.
Release the title, or the working title, and then not show anything off until the game's ready.
Yeah, they're like what was it? The HD remastered of Skyrim and all.
Yeah, like Fallout 4. Like they announced it and it was out 2 months later.
They had that in development for 2 years and no one knew about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar kind of situation with this. They'll show it off this week. It'll be out early next year.
Bethesda have leaks down. Like, they literally don't get leaked at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I mean, that just shows you the loyalty of the people that work with them. To be honest.
Or
okay,
the lawyer power of Bethesda.
Or the lawyer power of Bethesda, yeah.
Or the embargo they have to sign.
If you say anything, your wife and children will be taken from you and put on a moon.
It's an NDR agreement. That's what they signed. But no, I think they've said it's an open world sci-fi adventure. So I think it's their answer to sort of Mass Effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay, yeah.
so Mass Effect basically.
Sounds
Yeah.
good, yeah.
But
Thank you.
like, does anyone remember what like Prey 2? Like what Prey 2 was meant to be? I don't know if any of you seen the trailer of what it was meant to be. You were meant to be like a space mercenary, and the trailer looked actually very, very impressive. They might have, well, since that got cancelled, they might have actually taken that now and tried to roll with something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
Hopefully, because the game did actually look amazing. Anyway, so
how Blizzard and their unreleased MMO turned into Overwatch.
yeah. So Bethesda
I would-
is just really a new IP and Quake.
Overwatch MMO. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a Quake, some sort of Quake, whether it be a remaster or.
Oh no, they've already
Yeah, they've
announced
already
Quake.
announced it.
Yeah,
Quake Champions. is,
Quake
There we
Champions.
go.
Oh,
Quake Champions.
next year.
Yeah. So there'll be coverage of that, like there was at Doom. I'd say they'll show off a bit of scripted gameplay and
Yeah.
stuff.
We are kind of due another Doom, aren't we? Because the last Doom, the Doom remastered or the Doom reimagining, did so bloody well for them.
Very, very well.
when was that out again? When did that come out?
It's a good few years.
It's at
Was it?
least two and a
Doom.
half, 3.
Doom was 2015, I believe.
I'll
That's
check
good, well,
that
then.
now.
Yeah, it's time for another Doom.
Yeah, I think it's time for another one.
Yes.
But I think even with the games Bethesda published, they'd like give their like smaller developers time to like make them the way they are. Like Dishonored, there was like a good 4 or 5 years between the two Dishonored games.
No, Doom was last year.
Was it?
Yeah, Doom-
Doom was last.
That year?
Yeah, May 13, 2016.
Hmm.
So it's literally over a year now at this stage.
So I'm due for another one, like, for a while.
No, well, they probably have Doom 2 in the works, I'd say. Probably just won't see anything until next year. They might tease it. They might like really tease it. Right, well, that's Bethesda anyway. So we're getting into everyone's favorite. We've got Sony is next, basically, and we all know that I'm looking forward to the likes of God of War. I'm looking forward to the likes of The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
What?
Spider-Man as well.
Spider-Man.
No, I think the votes was what? Last of Us? Hopefully.
I don't think we'll see The Last of Us.
You don't think so?
Really?
No.
Do you think they'll leave that under head?
I don't think I don't think we'll see it because it's not going to be coming this year, and I don't think it'll come next year.
Ooh. Hey,
Ooh.
that's interesting.
Not next
So
year.
I-
It won't release next year.
I don't think it'll release next
Oh.
year either. I think that'll get released in 2019.
The focus on the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
Trying to get Hugh Jackman.
You were saying something there, Michael, about Sony?
I don't know what they can possibly. I know that they have something planned for their online service.
Yes.
Rumors have been rampant about that, but there's what can you do to compete with Microsoft with their servers and everything else?
Make it free.
It still wouldn't help them.
They definitely won't go back to it being free. I think what they probably will do is throw PlayStation Now into it.
That's everyone's kind of saying that it'll be like PlayStation Now and PSN will be just one service, one price, and that's it.
Maybe
That feels
backwards
more like it.
compatible. Maybe.
See, for every single year for the last 3 years, they've said they can't do it with a PS4. They just cannot do it. They cannot do it. They cannot do it. So,
And I think
demanded like each year.
if they went, backwards compatibility for PlayStation Plus subscribers, that's essentially an FU for everybody else that's got a PlayStation.
Yeah, that is
Doesn't
exactly
subscribe.
what it would be. Because after so many years of saying no, to come out and go, yeah, no, we got it now, it'd be like, no, fuck you.
But you've got to pay for it, so it's weird. But
then again, Microsoft have the new games for cash Netflix thing.
Netflix for Netflix for games.
Netflix for games, and that's doing very, very well for them so far. So you never know. Maybe it might be something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's essentially what PlayStation now is, except it's $12.99.
And yeah,
That's
but
it,
it
really.
doesn't
Yeah.
offer 100 games.
Yeah.
But
So-
I don't know if any of you guys are excited for Days Gone after seeing it last year at E3.
I mean, it's been literally a 12-month silence
Yeah.
on Days
no
Gone.
information, no art, no pictures, no nothing about this game.
Yeah.
Like
But from the gameplay last year, I actually like it. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing though. Like, it's scary though that you don't hear anything for a year. I feel this is gonna be another one of those things where the gameplay that we saw is gonna look absolutely amazing and up to scratch, and it looks deadly. And then the official game comes out, and it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be piles of like, was it DayZ or no, not DayZ, the World War Z movie type of like amount of zombies that you're gonna see coming at you. The way it was, I don't feel it's like that. Now, they could prove me dead wrong, and they probably will prove me dead wrong, and I hope they do prove me dead wrong, but I have doubts. I'm just going to say no, I have doubts.
Yeah, with that, like, I think the PlayStation Pro can handle anything that the developers throw at them. So I think the gameplay that we saw last year will be pretty close to the game that we'll get.
But that's on.
But it's a question.
But that's on Pro. What about the original, like the standard one?
I think it'll just be the same kind of like frame rate problems and.
Yeah, that's the problems they have is frame rate and everything else. They're not competing at a level where you can have a console like the Pro and have a price point like that and warrant it.
Yeah.
One of the lads in the chat here actually said State of Decay 2. Now, I don't know if he's ever played the original State of Decay. I didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
I played the first one and it was very, very good. I would like to see another State of Decay. It's one of those kind of really fun games to play and really interesting. But I think the two games that everyone wants to see and that they have, if Sony are to win E3, the only two games that they have in their arsenal right now to do that is Kojima's Death Stranding and Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forget about that.
And
those two get trailers and gameplay trailers. That's it.
Yeah.
You've got the whole Japanese market done straight away.
With Sony, for Sony to get the West, they've just got to show The Last of Us. Like, that's it. Like, would you say like the Japanese market there is Shimoni and Death Stranding? Yeah. Like, but for like people like us, it'd be like literally if they showed gameplay of The Last of Us, which again I strongly don't think they will, then they'll win anyway because Last of Us is probably going to be the best game across any console.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all okay if they show Last of Us 2 gameplay, I'll be happy with. But I am very, very, very interested to see what Hideo Kojima can bring with this Death Stranding game.
Yeah, I just can't wait to be more confused.
I know.
You need to make
Daryl, why are you naked again?
Yeah, so
Stop being naked, Daryl.
Daryl from Walking Dead. And then...
they need to make it look like a game finally.
Yeah, because all we've been getting is cinematic movie. Yeah, that's all we've been gotten so far. And everyone's still so confused because we see a lot of dead babies, and then in one we see Guillermo del Toro holding a baby, and it's like, what the hell?
There was leaked images of more actors and actors getting their eyes bleeded, like black blood on their eyes. The one that was in Spider-Man, the girlfriend, she's in it.
And of course they have tanks with tentacles.
We will definitely get some Spider-Man because they'll tie it into the fact that the new film's coming this summer.
Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I actually reckon they'll have like Tom Holland on stage.
Like, that'd be cool.
Spider-Man.
That'd be interesting. He probably might even come in the costume.
Yeah.
Swinging his way into E3.
Yeah, the gameplay looks fun. Was it from the makers of Sunset Overdrive? Is it?
The Resistance, I believe. It's like from the people. It's Insomniac that are making it.
Yeah.
Something I would like to see. Just going back to Microsoft, Sunset Overdrive 2. That would actually be really freaking cool.
Bring back the pain train.
Yeah, if they brought out such a fun, colorful, amazingly vibrant game, something that just set the Xbox One alight when it first came out, it was like, wow, this is a game. This is a game that defines an Xbox. This is class.
Well, I think Scalebound would have defined the Xbox, but they cancelled it.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Do not get me
I
started.
think Horizon Zero Dawn kind of buried it, like.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Horizon was. I think Horizon shocked everybody with how good it was.
Yeah, it's one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah,
Very addictive.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Can't wait for DLC as well.
Story-wise and everything else, it's near perfection. Like, it's amazing. When you actually start caring about the main character and caring about what she was going through and everything else, you were kind of like, wow, this is cool. I like this. That's what games should be. They should be immersive and that you connect with the person that you're playing.
I love how she's not sexualized as well, which is very good. Look.
She's
a complete badass.
She's just a warrior, you know.
Yeah.
That's what made the game very good.
Warrior, I will murder these robots.
The game mechanics felt good in the game.
She is a complete badass.
And right, so I think that's mainly what we're all looking forward to Sony, really, and of course what they're going to do with the PlayStation Plus. So moving on to the next one, our own very own Aisha Tyler, Ubisoft.
Oh,
Aisha.
I love the new logo. Oh,
just get me Kanye West on stage with Just Dance and I'm happy. I'm sold.
How about an announcement of brand new servers? That'd be great. Brand new working servers. That'd be a treat.
An announcement that they'll no longer downgrade games.
We all know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's all going to be The Crew. It's all going to be Far Cry, and it's all going to be fucking Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Oh, it's not yet. The
Assassin's Creed is what they're going to be leading with, yeah.
They're in Egypt, isn't it?
First thing that they're going to do before, like, Ubisoft are so direct, like, about how they do their show every single year. It's Just Dance first because they want to get you dancing, and then
with a celebrity,
they'll literally just hit you with a freaking Assassin's Creed trailer, and then they'll end with Far Cry.
I think they'll end with Assassin's Creed this year.
Yeah, because Far Cry's pretty much been announced and they have their trailer and all. They'll either end with Assassin's Creed or they'll open with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, their major point this week is Assassin's Creed. It's been gone for a year. It's coming back. Yeah. Apparently, it's got had a major overhaul. That's their focus.
It was leaked, wasn't there? Some game or a trailer?
Yeah, a T-shirt, I believe. Yeah. So you got your first look at the protagonist.
It's like Assassin's Creed Origins called or something.
Yeah, it's called Assassin's Creed Origins, and the logo is the usual A with the Eye of Horus in the center of it, I believe.
Looks pretty cool.
We called Assassin's Creed. We finally explain everything.
Yes.
Finally. But okay, so like we've Assassin's Creed, we've Far Cry, and oh yes, we have the new crossover. Probably no one really cares about this here. Mario and the Rabbids. Mario Rabbids.
Mario and Rabbids.
I seen this. I was like, what the hell?
So annoyed that that Microsoft never actually followed through on the Rabbids freaking crossover game TV show thing that they promised like 3 years ago. I was like, oh, come on, it'd be so cool.
No, they kind of took that with Quantum Break. They put that with Quantum Break.
If they brought out a Quantum Break 2, which quite possibly could happen, that would actually be exciting because the Quantum Break was a very well structured game. It wasn't the best at telling its story, but structurally it was on point. It was like Horizon. It makes you care about the protagonist. You cared about him. You cared about what he was doing. You cared about his brother. You cared about everything that was going on around him. It failed to actually. The storytelling didn't live up to, or the gameplay didn't live up to the storytelling.
Yeah, I did like the TV episodes were a lot better than the actual gameplay, which was the biggest issue.
And I think actually, with that being said, the next one I think more or less we're looking at is South Park.
Oh man.
Oh yes,
Trey,
the fractured whore.
It's gonna get delayed again. That's what they're gonna do.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be another delay.
Guys,
Yeah, goodbye.
2019 is our year.
2019.
Yeah.
We
That's what all the games
decided
are coming out apparently.
that instead of actually going with a turn-based system, we were just gonna go full throttle open world, and now we're redoing the whole game.
It genuinely wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Very true. But I'm looking forward to it though. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks fun.
No, it does look like a very fun game. I'll give it that. But the Stick of Truth was a fun game as well, so it's
That
not
was fun.
It
surprising.
was just pure. It was so tongue-in-cheek that
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
I wonder have they done censored it down a bit after the whole controversy with the Stick of Truth. I know it was uncensored. It was uncensored on PC, and thankfully I got the PC version instead of the actual console version. But the actual console version, like what happens? Like there's a few bits in it where like it doesn't show you a particular scene, but it like describes to you what happens in the scene. And then there's a bit where like you're apparently like Minnie with one of the little dwarfs, and you're like under your parents having sex and stuff, and that's a battleground and all. So they basically cut that out of the game altogether.
I don't think they've censored it at all, because the latest trailer is probably one of the most racist trailers I have ever seen. And it's fucking hilarious.
Because they like superheroes such a hot thing right now.
Yeah.
It's just standard like that they made fun of it.
Oh yeah, very hot thing.
Yeah, especially with like Avengers and Justice League and all that.
I'd say they're quickly like sketching and writing out like loads of stuff to do with DC and Wonder Woman right now, and just
imagine
game as quickly as possible.
We're gonna delay it for a few months because we're gonna stuff in this
whole class.
Throw in some Justice League jokes, some like Spider-Man like homecoming jokes, and
Batman and Superman are trying to get it on with Wonder Woman, and they're not getting there because Aquaman's in the way.
But their mother's name is the same, so they become friends.
That's where they end it.
Friendship wins.
It's just Flash fucking up timelines constantly. They're just in the loop.
Oh damn it, Flash! And the last game that is here to be rumored is The Crew 2, apparently.
Does anybody really want the second?
Everyone
second
just like go like.
Yeah, no, it's just like I was never really a fan of the first one, and it did so many things wrong, and it did a few things right. So
I love racing games.
I think
but
the idea was amazing. The execution was atrocious.
Yeah, like I love racing games. Like I can't wait for GT Sport. You're probably going to see GT Sport actually this year at some point.
Oh yeah, true, and hopefully it doesn't have that god awful trailer. I was like, wait. We have that playing in work. It's horrible.
The GT Sport esports thing that they're really pushing it with at the Sony one, because that's going to be their big push, I'd say.
Oh yeah, they're going to copy Microsoft and bring in a car into the stage like they did for Forza.
Don't you like that car? Did anyone see that car after it left?
No.
No, because some nerd hotwired it and got the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
I'm not surprised.
Damn nerds on their hotwiring.
I think the final thing really we could talk about Ubisoft is Aisha Tyler herself. Like I originally when I first started saying it, like watching her, I was like, oh god, she's just annoying. But then she actually did start to get fairly funny with. I think
like her in Friends.
Some of the jokes are cringy as hell.
Yeah.
I will say Aisha Tyler is one of the highlights of E3 for me, because she takes the piss out of everything.
She does. She really does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember the first time
I was like, "Oh, you nerds, yeah."
And I was like, this girl does not want to be there. She literally is just getting paid and does not give a crap about being here. And then, like, I remember following her straight away after on Twitter, and she was like, I got so hammered at the EA party last night, I didn't know what I was saying on stage. They started having to, like, literally hand me pieces of paper. I'm seeing double right now, but guess where I'm going? I'm going to the Ubisoft party. It's like,
Did you
I like
ever-
this girl. No, I like
Did
this.
you ever guys see? Remember when the Battlefield 1 party, and then they had all celebrities playing the game?
Oh
But
yeah.
obviously, there's a lot of them
God.
didn't want to be there, and you saw Snoop like just so high on the controller, and the player was just going round in circles, and he was just laughing, he was just smiling like.
He didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he was like proning and like teabagging because the camera was zoomed in on the screen, and they're like recording what he was doing. It was the funniest thing ever. And I think Zac Efron was there, and they said like, "Oh, how do you like the game?" Like, yeah, it's great. I like the guns and everything. They're great. Like, oh, it's such a good game.
Did we touch on Halo 6 for the Microsoft conference?
It's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, no, I don't see it happening this year at all. I mean, considering how dreadful Halo Wars 2 has done, I imagine they had a third one like in the bag, but they probably
actually
scrapped it
did
now.
apparently very, very well online though. Like it's selling like crazy amounts online.
Like
People
on
are loving it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently online, like on PC, it's selling really, really well. On Xbox, doing nothing.
Hmm.
I think
Then
it's because it's a strategy game. It's geared more towards the PC gamers.
Exactly. It'll sell somewhere in the world. It probably is like South Korea and stuff like that, where StarCraft is king. People are
Yeah.
looking to move on to something else because StarCraft hasn't given them anything in the last kind of 4 or 5 months. So like Halo is kind of like, okay, we'll try this.
It's a real actual shame that they got rid of Command and Conquer.
Now,
Yes.
they would be a massive surprise. Imagine if one of the studios had bought the Command and Conquer titles and just gone, guess what we're doing, guys? We're giving you remastered editions of Red Alert.
Oh god, that would be awesome.
Amazing, yeah.
My money's on
Everyone
Sony.
would shit their pants.
And Spider-Man
My-
presenting it. Tom Holland.
I suppose that's actually all our conferences. Does anyone want to say a few words before we leave?
Give me a green, glowing, beautiful Scorpio, and you can have as much money as you want.
There you go.
I just
That-
hope
that's it.
they announced No Man's Sky 2.
Oh god.
That's why. That'd be
No, they have already. It's incorporated in the new Minecraft patch.
No.
I'll be so happy if they do.
Oh, actually, there's one
It
other.
makes
There's
my weekend.
one other thing. Actually, I wanted, since I have you guys here. Have you guys heard of Star Citizen? Who hasn't heard of Star Citizen?
Yeah.
I heard of it, yeah.
What do you guys think of it? Like, I've done a reaction video to this beforehand, and like I've actually gone on to have a look at some of the prices to buy ships and all. The highest one I've seen is about $120,000 to buy a ship and like a few items and stuff. Who the hell would pay $120,000 for that?
Real
Okay,
life
I'll
money.
ask you another
Oh
question.
yeah, real life money.
I'll ask you a question. Have you ever played EVE Online?
No.
Okay. Go on to EVE Online and see how much the actual ships get destroyed in that game for.
Oh, I think
And-
I think I heard that, yeah.
You want to talk about buying ships? Imagine spending money on actual ships that anyone can come in at any one time with a fleet and destroy on you.
Oh, I think I've seen
Yeah,
something
I
like
think
this
they
on
did it.
YouTube. There was like a shitload of them to come in and destroy this one. I think it
I
was.
think the most that was ever destroyed was this one guy's fleet that was something like $1.7 million worth
What?
of fleet ships that he had spent or like acquired throughout the game.
Why?
Oh,
Why would you spend that much money on a game? I don't get it.
hey, you're talking to a guy who's played World of Warcraft for 8.5 years, sir. You do not talk to me about spending money on the one particular game,
No,
okay?
but here's the thing, though, right? It says here it's an
It's
update.
value for money, goddammit.
It's an update. It's an update from Star Citizen there about 2 weeks ago. It's after hitting 150 million in crowdfunding.
Yeah. What was that?
That's
What was
great.
the other one? It was similar to Star Citizen. That was on Xbox preview. Oh,
Oh,
Wreckhead. People have been building literal consoles around this game.
oh, Roblox.
No, not Roblox.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
No, it's like it's the space
is a
one, like
space-
No Man's Sky,
yeah.
innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
can't remember the name.
It's not Space Galaxy, is it?
No. It's like literally on. I can see the screen. I can see the orange pads and everything else, and I can see the layout, but I can't remember the name.
Not Ion, is it?
Elite Dangerous. Is it Elite Dangerous?
Oh, Elite
Yes, it's
Dangerous,
Elite
yes. I actually, I have that for the PC. Able to get the VR patch and all, but I haven't touched it in a little over 2 years.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those games that like it looks amazing, but like I think to get the full benefit of it, like you're gonna have to spend money.
Yeah.
That's the ideal game for an Xbox VR.
Exactly.
The Oculus Rift.
Make you have that.
Yeah. Oh well, I have got the developing kit for it. Big mistake. Now that they have the official ones out, I was thinking about buying one of them, but the Microsoft rep told me not to because apparently their VR stuff coming out is going to be even better than the Vive and the HTC or the Oculus Rift. So that remains to be seen.
But what?
Would the Microsoft rep know that, or is he just doing his job?
No,
he
well,
knows.
yeah,
knows.
he's either he knows and he's doing his job, or one or the other. Really.
You sneaky.
Same guy as us.
I don't think so. This guy comes to us from Sandyford Industrial Estate.
Yeah, it's probably the same guy.
Oh, okay.
It's the guy.
It's that one guy.
What's his name?
Is his name Frank?
I don't think we should say his name. On
Yes, very true.
He's
It's not,
watching right now.
yeah, it's not Frank. It's not Frank.
We'll
anyway.
call him Piper.
We'll call him Piper. Sure, why not? Harriet Piper.
Small stature, Max Small Staturson.
But anyway, no, that's just what he said to me anyway, but well, it remains to be seen. Anyway, I think that's it now for our pre E3 conference, guys. As I said, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. We're going to be doing live reactions to each conference as it, well, I am. I don't know about this lot, but I am. Basically, every time a conference is on, we're going to have it here. We're going to be live streaming it. We're going to see what events take place. We're going to see what is announced. And then we're going to talk about it for a bit afterwards, but we're not doing Bethesda because Bethesda is on 5 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't be arsed getting up for that. But we will do it later on in the day when I properly wake up, had a shower, had some breakfast, and had some tea, and I'm proper ready to go. What about you guys? You guys going to be watching? You guys are obviously going to be watching it. Are you going to be watching it live, or are you going to be watching it later on?
I'll be watching it live, except Bethesda's. I think that's pretty much a given. It's the only one I'm not going to be watching live.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I've got no kids for the weekend. I am literally getting so drunk on games.
Nice. And of course, Jay, you're obviously going to be watching it as soon as you get a chance.
Yeah, I just won't watch the 4 o'clock one.
Right. As far as I know, I have 2 people who are going to be on with me live during the shows themselves for reactions. If you guys want, you guys are welcome back. As far as I know, I think they're either going to be doing it through PlayStation or Xbox chat. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do Discord again because, you know, some guys will be talking on Discord and other guys will be talking on PlayStation. Things will just kind of cross over and the whole thing gets a bit scurry. So if you guys are on Xbox or PlayStation, be sure to add me. I'll probably be PlayStation. I think PlayStation chat is a lot better than Xbox's in terms of what I have in terms of equipment wise. In terms of equipment wise, I'm not talking about in general.
You call yourself a YouTuber?
Diversification, man.
Unsubscribe right now. Unsubscribe.
You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. That's why I have an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a goddamn gaming PC. Switch is next.
Do you have a Switch?
Switch is next. Switch is next. Well, okay, no, maybe the VR is next. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, guys, that is me for Pain Train Gaming for today. I want to thank the lads for coming on to give me their view on E3. That is our E3 pre-podcast. Join us again probably afterwards, actually. We'll probably give our after thoughts on it. Do you guys want to do another one afterwards?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. We'll come back, give our own impressions, kind of have a bit of a more thought of what we've seen, and we'll give our own like sort of description on what we liked and what we didn't like and what we thought could have been done better. Anyway, from me, from Michael, from Colin, and from Jay, thank you guys so much, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye.